Okay. Mm. Alrighty. You are first, Taylor. That's true. Alrighty. In. Yep. TikTok hid me from you? What? What's it doing? Okay. Well, I guess we'll do the intro for the week while people come in.
Let's get something straight right now. Just Mona does live, and this ain't church. It ain't brunch. And it sure as hell ain't your cousin's conspiracy chat. You step in here, you come correct. With facts, with receipts, and without that crusty attitude you found on Twitter. 'Cause mama don't argue in circles, don't entertain bad faith, and sure as hell don't babysit roles. Hate speech, gone. Misinformation, blocked. Loud and wrong, baby, we sweep. Tap that screen like it owes you rent. Share this live like you're spreading truth at a family party. Gift if you got it, support if you mean it. And if you came here to debate, don't. Mods, stay ready like receipts in a group chat. But if you came to learn, to listen, to push back on the mess, you're home. Welcome to Just Moni Does House, where truth snatches wigs and disrespect gets dragged out back and taught a lesson. So buckle up, baby, because this live, it don't play nice.
Good morning, good afternoon to those of you on the East Coast. East Coasters, how are you doing? I am so sorry that you guys are buried. Please be safe. I know that shit is really, really bad. So just make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves as best as you can over there on the East Coast. I appreciate you guys being here on this Tuesday. Sorry about yesterday. I was supposed to do midterm Monday. I did have a dentist appointment, so I had a cleaning. I got home where I would have been able to go on at like 10:30, so it wouldn't have been that late. But to be honest with you, I was just kind of like, I don't want to. So if you guys, came in for a little visit yesterday, I was playing games with my son. That's what I decided to do yesterday. I just didn't want to. But I'm here today. We're back today. Got a full outline for you, things we will get started with. Just make sure that we're doing all the good things. So I will do my shill, guys. Let's tap that screen, share the live out, do your daily heart me if you have not done so. I have the 40 roses up there. Don't forget to light up my gift gallery. So if you guys click on me, since it is a new week, click on me, click that little C5 gift gallery and see what I need. If you could light any of those up, that would be amazing. I would like to try and finish that this week. Remember, I have that little purple bar down there as well. to try and get 50,000 likes within the first hour of being live, 100,000 likes for the totality of the 2 hours. You guys really kicked that off. Friday was amazing with you guys on that. So I would appreciate it if you could help me do that and work those fingers out. I also have 100 goal that I have every single day. This is my job. This is how I make money. This is supplemental income, really, just to get gas and things like that. Right now, it's honestly paying for a lot. It's paying for food because Snap has not processed our application, our recertification. We recertified and it's denied. It's just sitting there. So I have to pay food out of pocket right now. So it'd be wonderful if you guys could help with that. All the links for that are in my bio, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, all the things. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. My work wife is here. I'll bring her up. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi. All right. We can get kind of started here. Guys, also don't forget that I am multi-streaming, so I am over there on Twitch and YouTube. If you would like to go over there and follow and or subscribe, I also have memberships, things like that you can do as well over there. That would be awesome. I would appreciate it. Okay, we're going to start with a little bit of me. I'm going to warn everybody today. I'm in a piss poor fucking mood. I'm in a bad fucking mood. And so I'm just going to warn everybody that that's how that's going to go today. But let's talk about a stitch that I got on my video, on one of my videos. I did a video about crunchy leftists and how they're trying to say that some of us are telling them they can't critique their any possible candidate or politician. That's never been a thing that's happening. My video's lagging a little bit. I'm logged into the thing. Yep, no, I'm fine. I don't know. It's that kind of day, Audie. That they're saying that leftists are saying they can't critique politicians. That's never been the fucking truth. Never been the case. Never will be the case. You can critique them all the fuck you want. I just don't understand why we're not talking about the midterm elections that are actually this year instead of talking about, or why aren't we doing that? But you guys are instead talking about 2028 when nobody has even announced yet. So, which you can talk about them, but maybe focus on local races, right? Which I'll talk about the fact that we have primaries, big primaries in certain states, particularly Texas, right? We've been talking about that. Early voting in Texas and the primary being March 3rd in Texas, the actual voting day. Like, these are the things we need to pay attention to, and y'all want to cry. So, we're going to watch this stitch that this person did of my video where I was telling them, hey, critique them all you want to, but also focus up. Criticize Gavin Newsom, fucking feel free. Actually, I encourage you to. I don't like that motherfucker.
Listen, here's the problem with this fucking creator of the original videos. Like, do we have the primaries yet? Did I miss it? Listen, I don't want Gavin Newsom in a fucking primary. I don't want any of these fucking so-called establishment Democrats, which Gavin Newsom's a fucking Republican in a bucket with a D behind his name.
Sure.
But I digress. I don't want him in the fucking primaries.
Well, that's too bad, baby boy, because that's not how that works. Guess what? I could also apply to be in the presidential primary. You just have to meet the fucking qualifications. So maybe that's why I talked about the primary specifically. I talked about don't vote for him in your primaries instead of making a full-on blanket statement, okay, for 2028, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So you have to have certain qualifications to be even eligible for president, right? You have to be 35, born in the United States, not have been involved in an insurrection towards the United States. That's an issue we can talk about later. You can try and get your nomination per your party, right? And this, Ballotpedia, lovely source, is going to give you all the information on what you need. In Alabama, you need to be a part of the Democratic Party if you're going within partisanship, right? Again, you need to get 350 to 500 signatures. 500 signatures or 50 from each congressional district, and the fee is determined by the party, right? So then you have all the different states. Alaska, $2,500 fee. Colorado, $500 fee. Florida gets anywhere $25,000 to $100,000. Now, if you want to bitch and moan and complain about getting money out of politics and how much it costs to be able to file, I am on board with you 100%. I will carry that flag with you. Absolutely will. If you choose not to vote, you're never going to get a progressive in there that's going to take that down. But you know what? Keep crying. It's okay. So there's that. You can do it for independents, right? And here's all the requirements. This is for 2024, obviously. It's probably going to be very similar for 2028 unless they change, which you need to stand up on your local fucking ballot initiatives and things like that for things that get changed locally. Again, this will give you the signature requirements, the filing deadline, if there's a fee. This doesn't seem, if you're running independent, oh, here's your fees right here, okay, with your signatures, some of them, depending on the state. Requirements for write-in candidates. Look, you can get all this information. So again, the thing is, don't vote for Gavin Newsom in the primaries, which is what the fuck I was saying in that video. You not wanting him to be in the primary sounds like a you fucking issue. Why don't, instead of saying you don't want Gavin Newsom in the primary, say I want this particular candidate in the primary? And why aren't you canvassing for them? Why aren't you phone banking for them? Why aren't you making videos with your 70 fucking followers to ensure that the person that you want to see in the primary is getting pushed out? Why aren't you doing that? See, my issue with the crunchy fucking leftists is you guys are already determined to lose in 2028 and then want to blame everybody fucking else for not bringing you flowers and chocolate to do it. Take some fucking accountability. You don't get to sit on your ass and sit on your hands in way of fucking elections and then cry about who you get and say, it's not my fault. They just didn't give me anybody when you were never on the streets doing it. Don't vote for Newsom. I don't fucking care. But you better be promoting somebody in the primaries. You better damn sure know how the primaries work.
Also, again, y'all are complaining about things that are in the future when we can't even determine what's going to happen next week. Makes no sense to me.
But he continues about his bare minimums that he wants for a candidate.
I do not want the Democratic Party choosing who we get to choose.
That's not how that works. That's what the primaries are for you to choose. Cool. And like Martina brought up in Olives this morning, which is a very fair point, this is about the time that the DNC will start throwing money behind somebody that they want to see in the primaries. That's true. So then you just ensure you put in double the fucking work to get the name out there of the people you want. If you want to remove money, let's talk about removing money. Who's going to do that? It damn sure ain't the Republicans. Anyway, he continues.
Fuck those guys. We have been screaming at the top of our lungs, cycle after cycle after cycle, that we want a fucking leftist. We want a populist fucking leftist with progressive fucking policies, not half measures, not fucking Gavin Newsom. And our fucking baseline is no fucking funds for Israel,
Oh, no funds for Israel. Okay. There's this lovely little site. This is Open Secrets. Okay, so far in 2024, he only has $25. Let's go to 2023, $29,000. Okay. We've got Microsoft Corporation, Verizon Communications, organization unavailable for these records for that one. Let's go to 2022 because this one's probably the most right now, right? 13 million. Let's go down these ones. We've got NA. That's never good. I don't like when it's not listed. Organization unavailable for these records. You have the California Democratic Party, the Mission Indians, Service Employees International Union, Laborers Union, Prospector LLC, DoorDash Inc., Kotchett, Peter and McCarthy LLP, American Federation of Government Employees, American Federation of Teachers, Association of California State Supervisors, a Wilsey Properties Company, Agua Caliente Band of Cahuilla Indians, excuse me if I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. California Correctional Peace Officers Association, California Association of Professional Scientists, California Nurses Association, National Nurses Organizing CMTE, California State Retirees, California State Council of Service Employees, Small Contributor Committee, Circa Corps Laboratories. Where's the APAC? Oh, it's not on there. Which Gavin Newsom said himself, said that he's not taking APAC money. Has he taken it from organizations that are supportive of it? I don't know. Not from this list. If you guys can find me some, totally willing to critique him on that. Absolutely no fucking problem. Totally fine. Here's his other demands, which again, I'm all for. No money for Israel. You're going to be hard pressed to find a candidate who's going to win on that. I just want you guys to know. 2 more.
fucking funds for ICE.
No funds for ICE. I'm with you. Absolutely. Fucking W. Tell me which candidates are running on still funding ICE. Oh, nobody's announced. Okay, anyway.
Fucking campaign finance reform. That's the bare
And campaign finance reform. I'm so proud of you. Great job. If you're refusing to already vote for a fucking candidate, you're never going to get that. You're never going to get somebody who's progressive, who wants to end Citizens United, who you can pressure through your vote, who you can pressure through your protest in order to get Citizens United ended. But keep bitching.
fucking minimum. That's not the perfection candidate or whatever you fucking bullshit you want to throw at us. That's the bare minimum. We have fucking standards. You don't want to have fucking standards and go be a fucking Republican.
No, thank you. My standards are the fact that I actually research what the fuck I talk about. I actually show my fucking face when I talk about shit. And I don't show my fucking Ford car. Show your face, boo-boo, next time. Love you.
Be
Thanks.
someone who will show your face and actually stand, like, again, there's going to be a reason why if people don't show up to vote, specifically the far leftists who want to sit there and try to play purity politics, we will not end up being able to go left any further.
Nope.
And that's what you guys aren't understanding. If you guys are going to sit there and play purity politics, you will not be able to go left. You will not be able to go further left.
Nope. Not going to happen.
Fucking A, man.
But, you know, I said critique him. I said don't vote for him in the primaries. I said push out the candidate that you want to see. All I said is stop sitting on your hands and crying. Actually get out and do something. But you guys don't want to do that. You just want to cry.
I argue that these people who want to sit, bitch, moan, whine, cry, whatever the fuck they want to do, should get rid of their voter registration and not vote in general. Fucking sit at home.
Just stop caring. That's my thing. Just if you don't care, then don't care. Fuck off. Get out of politics. I don't want to hear you bitch and complain ever again about politics. Go watch The Real Housewives. I don't fucking know. Do something else.
Do something. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
Okay, let's see.
It sounded like you had to scroll.
Charles, how are you today?
I'm good.
Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah,
Okay, can I get your age and what state you voted in?
37 Arkansas.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
Well, and that's just it. You know, you guys kind of told us not to, and then 3 weeks later he bombed Iran, and then I was like, maybe they were right. And then now, you know how you guys felt towards Biden? A lot of people. Well, some people were dark brand until the end, but a lot of people were kind of like, damn, Biden sucks. But you know, now we've got 3 years of this is our Biden. You know, and it's like, fuck, you know, and who are we going to pick next? There's no one really to pick next.
I mean, it looks like, again, I'll even say on the Republican side, as I just yelled at my fellow leftists, nobody's really announced, except for I think Ted Cruz has said that he's going to be running again. And then they're talking about Vance, but Vance is being cagey about it. So other than that, I'm not sure who's running for the Republican Party.
Marco Rubio feels like he deserves to be president. And
yeah, I think he feels like he's owed it. Yeah.
And no. Both those people are bitches. We saw that. We saw them be bitches to Trump. Remember?
Yeah.
Anyone? I'm sorry to say that, but I mean they did.
So you're not supporting him anymore?
No, I mean he bombed. Like I said, he bombed. He promised us. He said, "I swear to God, I'm going to get rid of the immigrants and I'm going to not bomb Iran." And then he did. He bombed Iran immediately.
And we might be going to war with them soon. That's going to be fun.
They actually changed an entire carrier strike group's deployment.
And you got to realize, never mind. I lost my train of thought. I didn't wake and bake.
You're, you know, W. I'm from Colorado. I get it. But Charles, I do appreciate you, and I hope that you do plan to vote in your midterms. In Arkansas specifically is one. I think your guys' primary is also March 3rd. So you have primaries for all of your elections on March 3rd. If you guys have early voting, I would get out and go vote, Charles.
Yeah, you know, Trump. Well, what if that's who we are, though? It just, you know, the last thing. I mean, I don't want to preach, but that bill. If most of YT America, you know, had the money, they're pulling in $500K, they're pulling in $250K, but they had that kind of money, they would be just as selfish and evil and all this other stuff. And that's just who we are. That's who we deserve. We don't give a fuck about anybody, but we don't even care about our own moms and dads. A lot of people just put them in a home. Fuck them.
Sure,
Not
but
that
I
that's
refuse.
the-
I
that's
refuse
the
to
recall.
believe that, and I purposely choose to vote for people that I think are going to be harm reductionists and people I think that we can push to progressive policies to ensure that we do have programs that are there to help take care of people, so that people, like you said, like moms and dads, can stay in the home and be taken care of by their children. The problem is we're just not getting that on the Republican side. I think we have to do that on the
By the
progressive
way,
side.
nothing wrong with nursing homes. They can be good, but you got to
Right, but we need oversight, and they need money, and they need funding, and that's things that we have to get them. Thank you, Charles, but make sure you vote in your midterms. I appreciate you. Let's see. Speaking of Iran, I guess I have these two things on Iran because Caroline Levitt decided to open her mouth. So we'll go down the outline and we'll do this real quick.
Did she have her extra large cross on?
No, she's got she's got collars today. So she's being asked about.
That woman irks me.
It's just, she's being asked about, like what everybody is being asked about, which is, was it obliterated? Donald Trump said it was obliterated when we bombed Iran. So what the fuck's going on now, right? So she's gonna not answer that, but answer it pretty much.
You mentioned Operation Midnight Hammer, the president's having a success in the military. One of the things
It's hard to hear them. The journalist is asking about Operation Midnight Hammer. That was the operation where they went in and they bombed Iran.
Iran nuclear sites were completely obliterated. We heard from Steve Witkoff just a few days ago also saying that Iran was maybe just a week away from getting access to bomb-making material. How would you square those two statements? What
So many sniffs before she gets to answer this question.
exactly happened here? Were the strikes just not as effective, or were they able to build more quickly than the administration had hoped?
No, the president's initial statement, and the president reiterated that True Social, that Operation Midnight Hammer was an overwhelmingly successful mission that did, in fact, obliterate Iran's nuclear facilities. That is not just verified by the President of the United States, but also the International Atomic Energy Commission as well. That does not mean that Iran may never try again to establish a nuclear program that could directly threaten the United States and our allies abroad, and that's what the President wants to ensure can never happen again.
So we're just gonna bomb them preemptively over and over and over?
Like, what the fuck did you just say?
Like, that's what we're gonna do? So it was obliterated, but we don't want them to start again, and so we're just gonna bomb them over and over and over whenever the fuck we feel like it because, maybe. Huh?
Hey, Alexa,
And just
play
one-
System of a Down.
More note, but with respect to Iran, before I run into my morning meeting, President Trump's first option is always diplomacy. But as he has shown, he is willing to use the lethal force of the United States military if necessary. So it's always the president is always the final around here, and I've seen a lot of sensationalist reporting over the past day that is just completely untrue. And anyone speculating to the media, hiding behind an anonymous source, pretending to know what President Trump is thinking or a decision he will make with respect to action against Iran has no idea what they're talking about.
And she stomps off Matt. So, my question is, by the way, Valerie, thank you so much for lighting up the gift gallery with the finger hearts. I appreciate you for fulfilling that. Thank you so much, W. Valerie. So then my question becomes, it's obliterated. The plan is, if they can't negotiate with us, the plan is to keep bombing them to ensure that they never have it. Would this make them a threat if we have such a handle on them? Are they still a threat?
Well, we'd have to change to carriers. I almost said abortions. Deployments.
But are they still a threat if we have that much boot on their neck?
But what the United States is doing to ensure that not only America is the safest country in the world, but remains the strongest country in the world.
Does he consider Iran a threat that remains abroad?
Well, look, Iran chants death to America. So you tell me if that's a threat.
Oh, so they're still a threat just because they say words! They say words! Oh no! Oh no, out there they say words that they don't like us! What does North Korea say? What does Russia say? We don't have our boot on their necks.
Also,
He's a good
what led to
relationship
them
with
saying
them.
that? What led them to start saying that, though? Like, that's the other thing they're not talking about. What led them to start saying that?
Well, and
what
I've also
started them to say that?
Yeah, and we've talked about the fact that the way that it's translated is actually, it means like death to the culture, right? They don't want our imperialist westernized culture over there. They just don't. And that's their business, not ours. So, you know, maybe leave them the fuck alone would be a good idea. Maybe stop listening to Israel telling you that they're a threat. Maybe Israel's been talking about them as well as fucking Palestine for decades. Fucking decades. All right. We got 20,000 likes, almost at 10:30. So let's try to get that to 25,000 likes while we're sitting here so that we know that we're halfway to that 50,000. I would appreciate it, guys. Make sure you are still doing all the good things. I have the 40 little heart puffs up there. If we could get that going as well, that'd be wonderful. Again, 100 goal. I hate having to beg and grift, but here I am. This is my job. It's what I do. I put these outlines together for you guys. And I would appreciate it if you could help. Again, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal in my bio. We could even do, there's how many people? 170 of you in here. If just 100 of you sent $1, I'd be done with my goal for the day. So that would be awesome. We are going to move on to polling. It's our favorite Red Bull activist. Yes, please.
If we get it halfway done, guys, I will go live again.
So this is we got a nice 3 minutes of our favorite little Red Bull Golden Retriever. Thank you guys for completing those heart buffs. I appreciate
CNN!
it. CNN, the clown news network.
I told Manny about him. I'm like, I want one of them. He's like, what? I'm like, I want one of these guys. He's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, ask Goya about that.
That's true.
So let's talk about polling. Let's see if I can get this. Why didn't you work? Get button work. No? Maybe? Hold on. Bring up OBS. There we go. Maybe I just didn't press the button hard enough. That's also a problem that does happen. Feisty, thank you so much for the $5 super chat with the hearts. We love you, Feisty.
Hi, Feisty!
Hi, Feisty. Okay. Harry Enton, here we go. Ready, guys? If you are not awake, you will be. Here's Harry.
Tomorrow will be the fourth State of the Union address.
He was stolen, Lunati. I'm so sorry. That's how I feel about Kyle Clark. Y'all can't have him. He's ours. Can't have him.
Delivered by President Trump between his 2 terms in office. And new CNN polling is now out on the eve of this big event, showing some record lows for President Trump's approval. Overall, job approval now standing at 36%. But there's much more to it, especially when you look in the past. CNN's Harry Enton is running the numbers on this one for us. Harry, what's your take with what you're looking at on how people are feeling about how Trump is doing in this moment?
Yeah, okay. I would borrow the phrasing of Tony Blair, of course, the former Prime Minister of Great Britain, saying weak, weak, weak. It was weak over there in the United Kingdom. It is weak here in the United States when it comes to President Trump. Okay, Trump's net approval rating. Look at all the pre-SOTUS polls, the State of the Union. Look at this. Okay, we're at this point. Look at that. Negative 27 points. My goodness gracious, the snow is up to the knees here in New York City, and Trump seems to be well underneath it at this point. Compare that to where he was in 2020, 2019, and 2018 in term 1 going into those State of the Unions. Minus 10, way lower now. Minus 15, way lower now. Minus 15. Way lower now. The bottom line is this. Donald Trump has never been weaker going into a State of the Union address, according to our CNN polling, than he is right now, and weaker by a considerable amount.
So this is his first term to his second term. How does it compare to other presidents at this point in their second term, though?
Yeah, okay. It's not just that Donald Trump is breaking records compared to himself when it comes to State of the Unions. He's breaking records compared to other presidents at this point going into a State of the Union. What are we talking about? Look at all the 21st century presidents on your screen right here. About at this point in the second term going into the State of the Union. Trump at minus 27 points. Obama was at minus 15 points. George W. Bush was at minus 11 points. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that minus 27 points is considerably lower than minus 15 or minus 11. So Trump isn't just weaker than he's ever been going into a State of the Union address. He is weaker than any other president this century going into a State of the Union address.
Captain Obvious said it's fake news. It's not. It's polling. I hate that this video is so blurry, but it's definitely CNN SSRS, CNN. I can't read that one, but this is CNN Gallup. So these are all polls. Again, polls are small little snapshot samples of the feeling. So if you can find me one, that is the opposite of this, I would love to see it.
At this point in their second term.
You're talking about it all throughout the show as we're going through these numbers, but talk about what is driving this drop for the president.
What is driving this drop? I said record was the name of the game when it came to this segment, right? Talking about the lowest Trump has ever been going into the State of the Union, the lowest that any president has been this century going into a State of the Union at this point in their presidency. It is also the weakest that Donald Trump has ever been with independents. Look at this.
Uh-oh, this is big for midterms. This is big for elections. Uh-oh. See, the problem is, guys, Sandwich came in here already. Hi, Sandwich. Guys, remember, $1.69 to get rid of Sandwich for the day. Links are in my bio. Sandwich, listen up. Listen up. Okay. Yeah, Donald Trump is not running for re-election, as far as we fucking know, because he can't. But, he hasn't said that because he's an absolute idiot. But the problem is that the entire Republican Party is now Trump. The entire Republican Party is now MAGA. He has made himself the party. There's nothing outside of him. There's nothing outside of his endorsement. If you lose independence, you lose elections.
I don't appreciate that you have a price to mute me. Blue asked, since he sent you 169 in TikTok coins, if that counted.
With the bouquet?
The bouquet and the glasses.
Yeah, go ahead. Mute him up.
Bye, Sandwich.
Bye, Sandwich. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
We've been talking about it the past few months. At this point, a year ago, Donald Trump was at minus 13 points. Look at this. Minus 47 points among independents, the lowest Donald Trump has ever been in either of his two terms as president with independents. That is driving these numbers. When you're 47 points underwater with independents, that's the name of the game. You can't be above water overall, and that's why Donald Trump is near record lows overall and the lowest he's ever been going into a State of the Union address.
Quite a message on the eve of.
You lose independence, you lose elections. Chicky, do you want that back? Chicky sent me $2 for the sandwich free zone.
Can that be counted for tomorrow?
Or we can count it for tomorrow. Nah. Okay. W Chicky.
That's for tomorrow. Speaking of the State of the Union, hey friends, a bunch of us women are going to get together and we're going to watch the State of the Union. There might be a few men in here and there. Maybe we'll see what happens and how many people show up. But if you guys want to come in and enjoy some wonderful women content creators that you guys can give love and support to, I will be hosting that live at, I think it's 9 Eastern. Right?
Yeah, it's at 9 Eastern.
So we're going to go and talk shit about the State of the Union. So
yes, that is tonight.
I'm thinking about playing women talking. No.
No.
Tonight, if you guys want to check that out, if you guys aren't following me, give me a follow. Stop plugging. Egg, look, egg.
Oh my gosh, egg.
Chicken.
Chicken egg.
It's chicken.
W Amber for the 169 to mute someone else. I guess if you have somebody you would like to, I guess just yell in the chat somebody you would like to. And you're making me do dollar and cents math, which you guys know I love so much. 9631. Thanks, friends.
Woo!
Keep working on that goal. I appreciate you guys. Kick off the week. That's not how that goes. Kick off the week in a good way. I would appreciate it. Okay. We're going to stay here on polls. Somebody said in the Tubes chat said my phone line's not working. Well, it was off during the video because you guys love to call during the videos. It's on now, by the way. But I didn't have a missed call. So,
Nah,
also
you guys
lied.
are wine babies.
Also, you lied. But you know who else is
Next
a
Mega,
wine
we
baby?
need that won't request stuff.
Who else is a wine baby? This guy.
Is that Nancy Mace's tweet?
Gonna complain about the polling. What?
Is that Nancy Mace's tweet?
Did she do a tweet about whiny babies?
She did it. No. So she did that video and she said, pray for President Trump because Trump said, I don't know how long I'm going to be here for.
Oh, I don't know. She's pretty mad at him right now. Rick Carlisle said, God will sort you lot out. He absolutely will because guess what?
I love the Lord.
The Lord.
He will. I read my book.
I sleep with Jesus.
And she sleeps with Jesus. So she gets the word directly in her. Anyway, Donald Trump complaining about polls.
Then I had to go through, and I still do, fake stories, fake polls. I had polls for the election that showed I was going to get swamped, and I won in a landslide. They were fake polls because
1.4% is not a landslide.
polls are tough. You know, when you get a fake poll, I get them today. I saw one today that I'm at 40%. 40%. I'm not at 40%. I'm at.
You're right. You're not at 40%. You're at 36%. Good for you. Oh my God, we're giving Donald Trump ice cream. Oh no, but I thought he yelled at Joe Biden for that. Damn it. It was my
Clip
ice
it.
cream. He just stole my ice cream.
Someone clip it.
Much higher than that. I mean, I'd love to run against anybody. The real polls say you kill everybody. It wouldn't even be close. But you go through the fake polls.
I'm not sure what he meant by that. I'm not sure if he meant literally or if he meant like you kill him. You know, like the figure of speech, you kill him, you're killing him. Or if he meant literally. I'm not sure. We'll get to that in a minute. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, and who did you vote for?
Howdy, my name's Jeff. I'm from Rome, Georgia, and I voted for Donald Trump.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. Why are you still supporting Trump?
So, my girlfriend's boyfriend didn't buy me the Nintendo Switch I wanted.
Good for you. I'm trying to do a show. I appreciate you, though.
You go through the fake stories. And I said, you know, it was good because this is really a much more powerful term than I would have had if I had run, because it was just one of those things. There would be nothing to compare it to. And I had to go through and.
Don't worry. He's not done. He's not done. Now he's going to talk about a silent support. This is their whole silent majority bullshit that they tell themselves because they know that they're unpopular. But he just can't believe it. He can't believe how unpopular he is. And again, I will ask you, MAGA. We can have conversations about why you support him based off of factual evidence and not your feelings. But I need you to show me these polls. You guys keep saying these are fake news. Well, then show me the ones that are supportive of him. Because even Rasmussen hasn't been.
Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, our people, they've been incredible, the job they've done. And they take nothing but abuse, but, you know, they're sort of pretty hardened to that, I think, because they know they're doing the right thing. It just amazes me that there's not more support out there. It's just, we actually have a silent support. I think it's silent. I think well, that's how I won. I got probably 85 million votes.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about that later. But the silent support, there's silent support. Where's that at? We ain't seen it. No, don't call again. Absolutely not.
In the sound of silence.
Juan, how are
Jesus Christ, hello?
Okay. Good talk, Juan.
Today's show is sponsored by Pepto-Bismol.
There was also another poll. Olive talked about this one this morning. I've got the graphic for it that I'm going to show you, and then I have the article talking about it as well. This was a Reuters.
Yours is prettier than mine.
This was a Reuters Ipsos survey of 4,638 adults nationwide from the dates of February 18th through the 23rd. This is why I say, like, polls are constant. They're constantly renewed, constantly happening. But again, show me one that's in support of him. This is what Americans think about Trump's mental fitness. So Trump has become erratic with age. Yes, don't know / skipped, or no. Okay, yellow is going to be yes. Overall, on all adults being asked if Trump has become erratic with age, it's 61% yes, 32% no. Let's get to Republicans. Republicans who live in Delulu land, we know, as I said, Trump is the party now, so I don't know what you guys are going to do when he dies, is 30% yes, 66% say no. Democrats are obviously going to be on that other end of the spectrum, 89% yes, 8% no. Other is saying 64% yes, 24% no. But the aggregate, the average is going to be that overall 61% of adults think he has become erratic with age. The other question is Trump is mentally sharp and able to deal with challenges. All adults say that 45% say yes, 49% say no. So the 49% still wins out. It's not technically the majority, so it's more of a 50-50 split. That's fucking concerning because I don't know if we've listened to him talk. Republicans say he is, 81% say mentally sharp. Democrats, obviously, again, other end of the spectrum, 19% say he is sharp, 78% say he's not. Other, 36% say he is, 53% say he is not. So that's going to be this Reuters Ipsos poll, which I pulled, Reuters, you know, in their paywall. So I pulled it from The Hill talking about it, right? So Again, Reuters Ipsos found that 61% of respondents described Trump as having, quote, become erratic with age, with 32% disagreeing. They're just repeating what I repeated, so it's fine. So, okay, Biden exited office at 82 years old, while Trump poised to beat that record when he departs the White House for a second time. Trump, then 78, became the oldest person inaugurated president in January 2025. You guys were touting the polls that said that Biden was mentally deficient. These same kind of polls, these same kind of surveys, you guys were sharing them everywhere, saying, look, most Americans think that Biden is having mental deficiencies. I don't know that they use the word erratic, but that he wasn't as mentally sharp. Totally fine. Why aren't you holding that same standard for Trump? That's all that I'm asking you here. I keep asking you guys the same things. Why do you let him lie to you? Why don't you hold the same standard? Everything with you is whataboutism. Nothing is, actually talking about the facts of the situation. Okay, I had put this in the funnies, but it relates to this poll, so we're going to pivot over here to Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters specifically wants a president who can do what? Let's see. Butterfly in the sky. That's what Jesse Waters wants.
I don't, for Gavin, I don't want a president who scores poorly. I don't want a president who struggles to read.
He doesn't want a president who struggles to read. What else did he say in that?
A really smart president. Now,
he wants a really smart president. Okay, let's talk about the really smart president that he supports. Somebody who can read.
Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
I'm so glad Trump can read, Jesse Waters. I'm so glad Trump can read. Most of the people in my community know this one because I have it on the soundboard.
Than me, and I'm proud to officially name the undisputed. When did this come out, Mr. Speaker?
Like I said, that one's on the soundboard.
Undisputed. When did this come out?
So glad Donald Trump can read. Good job, guys. You guys are doing fantastic supporting a president who can read. But we want to shit on Gavin Newsom for admitting it and vulnerably talking about his dyslexia. Sure, whatever. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Trump, 100%.
Okay, can I get your age and your state, please?
35, Georgia.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
I mean, what better option do we have? Do you really want to talk about Kamala and her qualifications?
No, I don't, because of the fact that we're actually in February of 2026. Donald Trump won the election, so I don't litigate the election that's already over. I want to talk about why you're still supporting him today.
Well, I mean, first of all, being in construction, I'm loving what he's doing with the border. I mean, I love a secure border.
What has he done to secure the border?
Well, first of all, getting a lot of illegals deported, that's pretty damn good.
Oh, has he? What's the deportation rate?
Yeah. The current deportation rate?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That is from an actual DHS. That's actually from a DHS or CBP source. That is not a press release. That would be great.
About 18 to 2,000 per day.
Where are you getting that from?
USA Facts, Washington Post,
No,
Homeland Security press release.
Oh, what did I just say I did not want?
Okay, well, you tell me what it is then. And you tell me why.
I didn't make a claim that I know what it is.
Why are you so against ICE? Why are people like you so against ICE?
I didn't make a claim that I know what it is. And again, we're going to go back to the fact that I am questioning you on why you are still supporting him, which is you said mass deportations. Now, even if he was committing mass deportations, how is that helpful to you?
Well, first of all, like I said, being in the construction business, I have firsthand felt the squeeze of illegal immigration and illegal workers putting strain on our wages.
How do you know that they are illegal?
Okay. Do you want a personal example?
No, not really. I would like statistical proof that you know that a majority of the people working in the construction industry are undocumented.
I'm giving you a personal example. I'm
No,
going to give you a personal example.
no,
What an
I know
What an
somebody. I know
American has
somebody
felt.
who works at the same construction area you do, and they said you're lying. Do you see why we can't use anecdotals? Because I don't know you from Adam, so I can't say that you are telling the truth. So statistically, you would need to show me.
That's the thing,
So
though. You
statistically, so
refuse.
it
People
means
like you
nothing.
refuse
So
to listen to what's
statistically, no,
actually.
I want facts. I've said this.
You
I
have
say it
you
over and
refuse to
over.
listen to what has happened
I
to actual
say it
Americans.
over and over. You could be lying. So I say it over and over and over again. You will have conversations based off of factual evidence and not your fucking feelings. If you can show me that statistically undocumented workers.
But your statistics are based on fucking feelings and
No.
based on certain demographics that you take.
Nope.
Yes.
Demographics that you take?
Most statistics are taken in highly Democrat liberal areas, thus
no
further pushing your agenda.
You think we don't have?
But when you get real stories from real Americans,
how would we know
you don't want to listen to them.
How would statistics know? How would stats know that undocumented people are working in the construction area? Do you know how that would be set up to find out?
Why don't you tell me?
Oh, because they get ITINs and work releases, so we would be able to document who's actually there to work. So then you would need to show me that a majority of them are there in the construction field, and then you would need to show me statistically that they are lowering or, that's what I thought, or fucking up the wages for you. I know, sweetie, it's hard. Facts and stats are hard. They didn't do anything
Did he
for you.
say
Construction
demographic?
Is falling apart. It's, the liberals do the polls. The liberals do the stats, except for the ones that we like.
I'm confused.
Anyway.
I'm confused still. We taking demographics?
Mm-hmm. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Ignorant bitch, don't you know they tell you they're illegal?
Oh, do they tell you that?
They do. They'll tell you.
When did
They'll
they tell you
right
that?
away.
First off, you need to give me your age, state, and who you voted for.
Your mama, bitch.
Oh, really? I didn't know my mom was running. You're in Colorado, by the way. I noticed that number because I'm also in Colorado. So it's nice that you can call me an ignorant bitch from your cushy little blue state, my cushy little blue state. Why don't you go to a red state? I wonder why. Oh, you won't? Okay. Didn't know my mom was running, though. That's interesting that you wasted your vote on my mom. It's an interesting way to do things. All right, let's go back up here. You guys, make sure we are tapping that screen. We are at 1050 and we are at 33,000 likes. We need to get that to 50,000 likes. So let's make sure with 133 of you in here on the TikTok that we are tap-a-roo that screen, please. I appreciate it. Monica's mom, 2028. It's crazy, Illuminati. She'd still be younger than Trump. So I would appreciate it. Guys, remember that I do have memberships and super chats over there on YouTube. I have memberships and bits and things like that over there on Twitch. If you guys would like to do that as well, that would be wonderful. What do I got over here? I know Valerie lit up my gift gallery with the little finger hearts, but I do have them as well on the screen to kind of boost us onto the algorithm. That would be wonderful. I muted myself. How did I even touch that? Jesus Christ. Okay, what was the last thing you heard?
I got so confused. I thought my phone was like losing its mind.
I touched the thing. It's like a little touch thing over here. I touched it. I didn't mean to. Anyway, make sure you guys are tipping your content creators. That's what I said. Who are here for you working every single day. Okay, we're going to go into this because it's only 2 short clips. I am sure everybody has seen the C-SPAN call. Would I put it past him to be Trump calling in? Absolutely not. I personally just don't think this one is him. I have examples from before that were probably him, were him. This one I don't think was him because it sounds too young. It's not gravelly enough in the voice. It sounds too young. It sounds too coherent to actually be him. So, yeah, user bunch of numbers. That I know is not true. Cool.
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron, and this is the worst decision you ever have in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? But this is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries, he's a dope, and you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier. I assume she's a woman. She's a Democrat, but she said she's disgraced. She's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, who's in Baton Rouge.
Which then they realized either somebody was pranking or that it was physically him and they cut him off. Again, I don't think that it was actually him, but I'll get you a video in just a moment where he has a history of this. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for? Hi, age, state, who'd you vote for?
Hello?
Liberal in your pocket. Boogeyman, or Boogie Dan man. Thank you for the jewels. Also, Key, is it Key or K33? Thank you for the jewels. I appreciate you so much.
I'm currently making a bingo card for tonight.
W, that's gonna get filled so quickly.
I know. I'm trying to think of other things that he says, but my brain's just like.
Well, just let me know what you have in Discord, and then I can like.
Yeah, I'll add more.
Jules or YouTube? You posted your favorite gaffe. What favorite Trump gaffe? Oh, what's this one?
We are a nation that just recently heard that Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat.
I hate
What
that
the
one, Eli.
fuck?
I remember that one. I hate that one, but I remember it. Thanks, Eli.
Hello?
Thanks for the reminder, Eli. Okay, let me see. Did I get that one? Yeah, okay. Nope. It's not on there. All right, so this is the history of him calling as John Barron or John Miller, just so we know.
The real amazing story of Donald Trump's old spokesman, as the Washington Post headline writes, may be that it's been such an open secret for so long it's hard to believe that anyone is still questioning it.
What's your name again? John Miller. And you work with Barron? Yes, that's correct.
It was back in the 1980s, and when the flashy New York real estate mogul needed to get a bit of news out, the newspaper reports it was common knowledge among New York reporters that Trump just assumed a different name and handled the media calls himself. Like this call from reporter Sue Carswell at People magazine concerning Trump's breakup with girlfriend Marla Maples.
What kind of comment is coming from either your agency or from Donald? Well, it's just that he really decided that he wasn't, he didn't want to make the commitment. He didn't want to make a commitment. He really thought it was too soon. He's coming out of a marriage that, and he's starting to do tremendously well financially. And he just thought it was too soon to make any commitment to anybody. So what is going to happen with her? Is she being asked to leave, or she's going to be allowed to stay? Well, he treats everybody well, and you don't know him, but he's a. No, I have met him. Have you met him? Yeah. He's a good guy, and he's not going to hurt anybody. He treated his wife well, and he will treat Mama well. And he's somebody that has a lot of options.
Meanwhile, by treat his wife well, he meant beat the shit out of her, supposedly, according to her, even though she retracted in her divorce document, beat the shit out of her and raped her, and then he's going to treat Marla Maples well, but sure.
And frankly, he gets called by everybody. He gets called by everybody in the book in terms of women.
If that John Miller sounds like Trump, it's because audio forensic expert Tom Owen says, in his opinion, it is.
I can conclude with a fair degree of scientific certainty that it is Donald Trump's voice.
This afternoon, Owens compared the John Miller on that phone call with People magazine to the real Donald Trump interviewed on CNN's Larry King Live in the 1990s. Due to the quality of the old recordings, he couldn't use his biometric analysis that he says would be absolutely certain, but based on pitch, tone, cadence, and his expertise, John Miller and Donald Trump are one and the same.
Yes, it's my opinion that it is Donald Trump's voice.
Reportedly, Trump even tacitly admitted under oath to using one of his false PR names in a 1990 court testimony when he said, "I believe on occasion I used that name."
Thank you, everybody.
Trump was confronted with the taped phone call and the Washington Post story on Friday's Today Show.
No, I don't think it. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time, and it doesn't sound like my voice at all. I have many, many people that are trying to imitate my voice, and you can imagine that. And this sounds like one of the scams, one of the many scams. Doesn't sound like me.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past him. For sure, wouldn't put it past him. I mean, this is the guy who bragged about having the tallest building in New York the same day that the towers fell, so I wouldn't put it past him. Anyway, you guys can be mad about that all you want to. That's your personal decision. Let me open this phone line back up again. I turned it off while I was playing a video because you guys always call as soon as I start playing a video. You don't call when we're talking, but you call when I play a video. All right, we have a couple of ramble moments from Donald Trump. He was doing a, what was it? It was like Angel Family Day, so these are people who have lost loved ones. But you know, Peepaw's not well, so there's that.
Why would we do this? And they walk in, nobody even asked for, like, do you have an identification? Do you have an ID? It's so crazy. You know, the mayor of New York, and he's a very nice person. I met him, but his ideology is not too good. But we're having a massive snowstorm right now. And I heard that...
Real quick, I do want to address Born Again. Actually, Dan, I disagree with you. So Born Again says Bill Clinton is looking for Monica. He says Lewinsky, it's Lewinsky, inside the White House for to rematch Democrats hypocrites. Don't know what you're talking about, but I actually disagree. I don't think that, although Monica Lewinsky was an adult at the time, I think that consent is removed because there was a power dynamic in the fact that she was in her 20s and he was her boss. So I actually don't think that there was consent in that situation, and I absolutely think that Bill Clinton should be held accountable. There is no hypocrisy here. Tear it all down. Get them all. But who's in the seat? Who's in the chair? That's what I say all the time. Who's in the chair? Donald Trump's in the chair, Pam Bondi's in the chair, Kash Patel is in the chair, and they're hiding it and they're doing nothing. So, not even for Bill Clinton. Where's the indictment for Bill Clinton then? Where is it? Oh, okay. Anyway, he was talking about voter ID. He's now pivoted to snowstorm, and he's also going to get lost while he talks about this.
He's asked people to come out and help shovel the snow. Okay, so you get a shovel and you start shoveling, right? What the hell? You're not going to help too much, but you can help. And hello, darling, how are you? Noah, right behind you, look. My friend, right? Are you okay? Yes, you. Are you okay? Are you okay? Good. Good. Are your eyes okay? I gave her money to get her eyes fixed. A lot of money to get her eyes fixed. That
What the fuck are we talking about?
doctor ripped me off, but that's okay. And when do you go? Well, you get them done. It's an operation, but it's 100%. You know, it's great.
Remember, this is the Angel Family Day. He is supposed to be talking, giving a speech, talking about the fact that these are families who have lost loved ones. Okay? We're talking about somebody's eyeballs that he supposedly paid for.
Good. You're going to have 20/20 vision. She's almost blind, cataracts. She's almost blind. And with one operation, that'll take a very short period of time. Hope you have a good doctor. He's an expensive doctor, top of the line, right? But you know what? You're going to have 20/20 vision because I noticed you're wearing glasses. I saw you yesterday on television wearing glasses, and I said, well, but anyway. But, you know, speaking of your family, it would be a lot different right now, except for the election. So I always say, it's too bad that happened. And if I had it...
It'd be a lot different right now, except the election. What? What? What?
The pain. Make it stop.
Peepaw's unwell. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, and who did you vote for?
I vote for Trump.
Okay, can I get your age and state, please?
I'm 34, and I'm trying to see why people don't support Trump.
What state are you in? I'm sorry?
34?
No, what state did you vote in?
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Okay, because Chicago's not a state. Cool.
Yeah, Democrat city.
Why are you still supporting Trump?
Hey, I love what he's doing. He's doing a great job to me.
With what?
Getting rid of all, like, stuff we don't need. We don't need people coming over here. We don't got enough jobs for everybody.
Oh,
need
really?
to focus on our people.
How many unopened jobs are there?
There's none.
There's no open jobs.
Not in Chicago, Illinois.
There's no open jobs in the
That's
United
crazy.
States of
Trust me on this.
America.
Not in Chicago, Illinois.
There's-
You hear what I said?
There's 7 million.
In
So
Illinois.
if I go to Indeed or LinkedIn right now, I'm not going to find jobs in Chicago.
White, I'm black. Go to Chicago, Illinois for the application out. See how long
in Chicago
would you get
under
a job
Indeed.
in Chicago, Illinois? On the
100
Brandon.
178,745 jobs just on Indeed in Chicago. So there's no open jobs in Chicago?
No.
Oh, well, you lied.
All the jobs.
There's
is
7 million.
factory-based
There's 7
for my
million.
people.
There's 7 million open jobs nationally. So why are you lying?
You not let me talk.
Yeah, because you're lying. I don't let liars talk. Anyway.
If someone wants to test out that link I just put in the live chat, you guys are more than welcome to. Trying to see what I can. I saw someone said that another person made a bingo card. Cool, great. I'd rather make my own.
Yeah, we just got to make sure it's like randomly generating, even if it's.
Everyone should get different ones.
Yeah. Okay. Now he's going to complain. I cut off that video earlier he's going to talk about the votes that he got and how they're way more than what he actually got.
How I won, I got probably 85 million votes. They say 78 million, 79 million.
Again, who is they? Who the fuck is they? The people in his head?
They cheated in this election, too. It was just too big to rig. Too big to rig. But they cheated like hell.
Mm.
They can't win on policy. Men and women's sports. We have a new one, though. Voter ID. I think that's as crazy as they won't approve voter ID. They won't approve proof of citizenship. They won't approve no mail-in ballots, even though they know it's crooked as hell. Where the ballots are sent to, in many cases, Democrats. Republicans don't get theirs, and they're calling frantically to get their ballot. A Democrat will get 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7 ballots. And then we're supposed to win. That's what.
Democrats are getting 4, 5, 6, and even 7 ballots. Huh. Again, I didn't have this on the outline today, but I played it on Friday. If anybody was here Friday and they don't remember, when Georgia is sending a letter of reprimand, which is like a whatever, but they're sending a letter of reprimand to the America PAC, which is run by Elon Musk, for illegally sending out ballot applications. These are the applications you send in to get your mail-in ballot. They were pre-filled out by Elon Musk's America PAC. All they needed was signatures from the people they were sending them to. But don't know if you know, that is illegal to have them pre-filled out. So while Democrats supposedly, without any proof, are getting 4, 5, 6, 7 ballots, Elon Musk is sending out illegally filled out ballot applications in Georgia for the 2024 election. Interesting. But you guys don't care about cheating. You guys don't actually care about election integrity as long as your man wins. Dan, you have a ballot for every outfit. I love that. We love a fashionista voter. I absolutely love that. Make sure you
Silly
guys have
question.
one. Yeah.
Doesn't Trump vote mail-in ballot?
Trump does vote by mail. Yes, that is correct.
Huh.
Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
I voted for BP Harris.
Oh, well, I appreciate you. Do you plan on voting in your midterms?
Absolutely. We got to get that mushroom man out of there.
I agree with you, WU. Thank you so much for calling in. So yeah. So apparently, we get 4, 5, 6, 7 ballots. I've only ever gotten one. And I live in a household of 5 adults. And we've only ever gotten 5 ballots. 1 each. It's the only thing that's ever happened. By the way, as I've said before, you guys can look at the Heritage Foundation, heritage.org. This is his people. This is your people. These are the people who write up conservative policy that gets pushed in legislation. And even they show that the amount of people that are voting fraudulently is very, very low. Very, very low. Let's listen to Donnie finish complaining.
They're good at it. They're professional. Cheaters. But we wouldn't be here right now. I'm just thinking as we're going through it because we've suffered through it together.
Pooner, I do plan to. I had my daughter draw me something. I just got to get like the background. The background is too bright. I got to figure out how to like shade the background out, and then I'm gonna replace it. I might work on that today if I have time after lunch. But yeah, I'm gonna replace that art. Thank you. Thank you again, Chemo, for the jewels. Appreciate you. That's not the one I meant to bring up. It just moved. Okay. So it's the end of Trump's rambling for today. Which one do I want to get into here? What are we at? 49.8 thousand likes, guys. We're almost to 50,000 likes at 11:05. Again, I want to get that to 100,000 for the 2 hours that we're here. So if you guys could do that, I would appreciate it. Don't forget, I have 96.31 left in my goal. I really do hate doing this, but I have to because this is what a bitch does. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the ICE whistleblower that was in front of Congress yesterday or the day before that. Talking about he was also a trainer within ICE, right? He would train these cadets, he would train these agents, and he's talking about how degraded the training has become and what they're pushing to allow to graduate these cadets out.
I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution when I joined ICE on August 1st, 2021, as an assistant chief counsel. I followed that oath for 4.5 years, working side by side with ICE officers. And I followed it when I resigned on February 13th, 2026, a little over a week ago, so that I could speak to you today. For the last 5 months, I watched ICE dismantle the training program, cutting 240 hours of vital classes from a 584-hour program. Classes that teach the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrests, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority. ICE is teaching cadets to violate the Constitution. And they were attempting to cloak it in secrecy by demanding that I lie about it. I swore an oath.
And he gets asked about that a little bit more. I have that for you guys as well. This particularly, he's talking about how they were just graduating cadets. It didn't matter. Didn't matter what they failed. They were just graduating them, regardless, because they need bodies in the streets to violate the law.
All that they learned. And we made them apply it. We put them through a range of scenarios where we could test, do they understand when they can enter a home or not? Do they understand when they can make an arrest or not? And if they showed that they did not know that, we could fail them and send them back and make them try again and demonstrate their knowledge. And if they failed twice, out of the academy. And maybe 6 months later, 90 days later, they could come back after they demonstrated to their home office that they were ready. But today, no matter how badly a cadet does at those practical exams, no matter how many mistakes they make, no matter how egregiously they violate the law during a practical, we graduate them. I have seen examples of cadets who have drawn their firearms on each other by accident. I have seen cadets, and this is in the last day or two of training, so this is at the end of the program. I have seen cadets make arrests of individuals that had committed no crime and for which there was no cause to make the arrest, despite the cadet allegedly having been taught the law related to the crimes involved. I have seen officers apply excessive force in these training scenarios where they have made arrest attempts that involved drawing their firearm, using pepper spray, various events that they were not authorized to do and which were not justified by the circumstances, in which no objectively reasonable police officer would have done what they did. And they still graduated. I have seen cadets, and this was a moment that stuck out to me at the academy. I saw a cadet in a scenario where we had bystanders who were allegedly filming or recording what was happening, pull out pepper spray and pepper spray a bystander. And when we asked the cadet afterwards why they did it, their answer was, it's because I've seen what we're doing in Minneapolis. It doesn't matter what we teach them about the law if what they watch on television and on Reddit and on the internet tells them that they can get away with things. The academy can teach them till they're blue in the face. But if they see that in practice the real rules are different than what we're teaching them, they follow the rules that they see.
Thank you. I'm good.
They've changed the rules for them. Chicky, hello. You've risen. Where did you rise from? Okay, we're going to talk about the memo. We've talked about the memo before. The memo was about changing how administrative warrants are used, and that, well, not even changing them. They're just saying, like, hey, you guys can use administrative warrants to bust through people's doors. Whereas before, you had to have a judicial warrant. Guess what? That hasn't fucking changed. It's just within the DOJ, they believe they have, that they can, or not the DOJ, excuse me, within DHS, they believe that they can, and that, but that will be litigated in the courts. Amber, sorry, I almost forgot. I changed the freaking number and then I almost forgot. Thank you so much for the $1.69 you said to make it even. It did bring me to, what is it now? It is 94.62. So now it's technically an even number. We're still in the decimal points. Love y'all so much for that. So W Amber for the $1.69 for to make it 94.62 left in the for the goal. I appreciate you. So yeah, so we've talked about this memo. I had even done it on my show. I had brought up, this was through DHS. No, it was like 96.31, I think is what it was. I thought it was 96.31, yeah. You sent me $1.69. Did I have math right? I thought I did. But right, the Fourth Amendment still exists no matter how much they want to ignore it. I had even brought up on my live, it was part of my outline one day, was the training from DHS's own site for ICE regarding the difference between administrative warrants and judicial warrants. I had brought it up because I thought it was funny. You could read it, right? It was like a script from the person who's doing the training for ICE, and you could read it, or they had at the very top a little like MP3 that you can press within the document itself that would play. And I remember playing the beginning of it and going over it because I remember Olive was here and I laughed so hard because it sounded like some sort of after school special, the music at the beginning of this training session. And I remember that. Now, shortly after this memo came out that everybody is touting as saying, look, see, administrative warrants are the same as judicial warrants. It allows you to violate the fucking Fourth Amendment. I went to find that training, that link. I had the link saved, clicked on the link. Guess what? It's gone. They removed it. That's interesting. But again, this will be litigated in court. So far, it hasn't been going well for ICE. But we'll get to Blumenthal. You said it should be a flat dollar? Am I crazy? Okay. I had 98 because of Chicky. I'm going to do math real quick. Hold on. And then I did $1.69 to mute. So 96.31. And you sent me, did you not send me, did I do the, you sent me another $1.69, 96.31 minus $1.69, 94.62. Yeah. Subtracting. Okay. Anyway, here's Blumenthal about that memo.
Through the memo that Acting Director Lyons, or rather in September, the memo dates from May, and it was used for hundreds of agents who now are on the streets and in our neighborhoods.
Nowhere on this memo is there anything that would let you know that this is an official policy of the agency. And to my knowledge, it's never been disseminated as one. It's been handed out piecemeal to people to use when the agency thinks they need to.
Which directly undercuts the veracity of Acting Director Lyons' testimony under oath before a congressional committee.
The memo was shown to me by my supervisor at Glencoe. It was given to me in person with instructions that I could read it, but not take any notes on it. That I could read it in their presence, and that was it. And that I was going to teach from it, but I couldn't keep a copy of it to reference.
Through the...
Right, so an administrative warrant, and we've gone over this before, AJ. Hi, AJ, by the way. We've gone over this before. An administrative warrant, it's a permission slip, but it's barely even that. Like, what it allows, it's a permission slip to say, if this person has a warrant of removal or a warrant of detention, ICE agents specifically can sign it and say, we will go get this person out in public. It does not allow you to go get them on private property where you are not allowed. It does not allow you to go to their premises and go inside their house to get them. It just doesn't. They're trying to change that and say it's the same thing, but it's not. So that was about it wanting to be hidden. Now he's talking about the training with Blumenthal and how they were being trained to violate the Fourth Amendment. Absolutely being trained to.
Mr. Schwank, I think you'll recognize this memo. It is a memo written by Acting Director Lyons. We've seen it before at this hearing. It says, in effect, ICE officers should violate the Fourth Amendment. Were you taught or told that you should train ICE agents in accordance with this memo?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, on the very first day I arrived at Glencoe to teach, I was told that we were to instruct cadets to follow the instructions in this memo, but that we would not write down any of those instructions, that we would not keep a record that we taught it to them.
That's a critical point, because I asked Acting Director Lyons whether this memo was distributed, and he said, in fact, that it was with an email that so far.
By the way, just want to pause for a second and note that YouTube is very, very mad and telling me that I need to go live and be by the illegal immigrants that I love so much. It's not about that. It is about the Constitution. I don't know how many times I have to fucking talk about this. That it is about the foundational document of our nation, and about what SCOTUS has ruled about that foundational document of our nation. And human beings have rights in this nation regardless of their status. Those rights are different depending on which amendment we're talking about, which is why SCOTUS has done a very, very good job about defining what person versus citizen is in regards to each respective amendment. Humans, regardless of their status, hi Josiah, regardless of their status, have rights. They have the Fourth Amendment right against illegal search and seizure. They have a Fifth Amendment right to due process. So sorry you guys can't read the Constitution. I'm so sorry that you guys can't understand SCOTUS rulings and that you just don't like it because you're a bunch of fucking bigots. I'm so sorry. But damn sure I'm going to defend that Constitution you guys say you were for. I thought you were patriots for the Constitution. Interesting. Blumenthal continues.
They have failed to produce. What you're saying is that you were told not to reveal it, correct?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I was told not to discuss this memo. In fact, when it was shown to me, I was told not to take notes on it, that I was not allowed to write down any part of it. And for the record, as an attorney for...
It is my favorite fucking response. Real quick. Sorry, guys. I know we're paying attention, I promise. It's my favorite fucking response. Non-citizens don't have rights. Illegals don't have rights. Show me where a SCOTUS case has ruled that has become the precedent set. Show me that. Because that's not what it is. It's not how it's been ruled. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Interesting.
ICE and someone who routinely receives memos and memoranda issued by the agency, this had never crossed my desk before I arrived at the academy.
So, in effect, you were told as an instructor on the law that you were to train ICE agents how to break the law. I think every American should be absolutely horrified by that fact. And you were not alone. This memorandum was the basis for training ICE agents generally, hundreds, thousands of them during this fiscal year.
So they are training them to break the law. Yeah, they did treat it like a SCIF document, which is crazy. Let me see. Let me bring this up again for the people who don't like to pay attention. All right, we read this before. I'll fucking read it again. I have a whole video reading it. You guys didn't pay attention. Again, this is Constitution annotated, constitution.congress.gov. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 18, the Congress shall have power to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by this Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or officer thereof. This is aliens in the United States. Okay? Okay. Okay. In 1903, the court in the Japanese immigrant case reviewed the legality of deporting an alien who had lawfully entered the United States, clarifying that, quote, an alien who has entered the country and has become subject in all respects to its jurisdiction and a part of its population could not be deported with an opportunity without an opportunity to be heard upon the question involving his right to be and remain in the United States. In the decades that followed, we'll get there, because that is legality. That was somebody who came in legally. Let's talk about illegality in a minute. Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
Yes, could I run an organization down here in Florida. We house migrants. I was wondering if we could possibly send some migrants up to you. How many would you be able to take?
I'm in Colorado. We have quite a bit. Thank you so
God,
much.
Grandpa.
It's not
play
about that.
fucking bingo.
I'm so sorry that you hate brown people because you're mediocre and shitty. I'm so sorry that you can't get it up anymore without the blue pill, boo-boo. So sorry.
Crazy.
Thank you for calling the stream. Age, state, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
Okay, can I get your age and state, please?
Yes, ma'am. 57. And I live in Western North Carolina.
All right. Why are you still supporting Trump?
It's not that I'm necessarily supporting him anymore. He's really starting to get on my nerves a little bit. But I was wanting to let you know that there are a lot of brown people. I have neighbors that are below me that there is a process, and they followed the process.
Yeah,
and I talk to them all the time, and they said it's not, if you're going to be a smart ass, I'm just going to hang up.
I'm going to ask
I
you.
don't have time to deal.
I'm going to ask you what the title of our immigration law is.
With a prick.
I'm going to ask you what the title of our immigration law is.
There is a process.
What's the title that our immigration law is
come
under?
in?
Yeah, okay, cool. There is a process. No, wait. You're right. I agree with you.
I don't know what the title is.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
not like you. I can't sit
I'm going to ask you a different question then.
in front of a computer.
I'm going to ask you a different question then, since you're talking about the process.
But there are
how many different kinds of legal status are there? How many different kinds of legal status are there? How many different kinds? How many different kinds of legal status are there?
I have no idea.
I know you don't. So don't fucking tell me about your neighbors who also probably know nothing. Ladder pullers who also know nothing about the amount of different kinds of status that there are. Thanks. Glad we had that talk. No, I already talked to you. Don't call. If I hung up on you, don't call again. If I hung up on you, don't call again. All right. Anyway, I'm going to finish reading this. I'll turn the calls off for a second so I can finish reading this. All right. In the decades that followed, the Supreme Court maintained the notion that once an alien lawfully enters and resides in this country, he becomes invested with the rights guaranteed by the Constitution to all people within our borders. This is the important part. Listen up, MAGA. Eventually, the Supreme Court extended these constitutional protections to all aliens within the United States, including those who entered unlawfully, declaring that, quote, aliens who have once passed through our gates, even illegally, may be expelled only after proceedings conforming to traditional standards of fairness encompassed in due process of law. That would be your 5th and 14th Amendments. The court reasoned that aliens physically present in the United States, regardless of their legal status, are recognized as persons, guaranteed due process of law by the 5th and 14th Amendments. Thus, the court determined, quote, even one whose presence in this country is unlawful, involuntary, or transitory is entitled to that constitutional protection. Accordingly, notwithstanding Congress's indisputably broad power to regulate immigration, fundamental due process requirements notably constrained that power with respect to aliens within the territorial jurisdiction of the United States. This last part, again, is important because that's where you could change it, but you guys don't. Yet, the Supreme Court has also suggested that the extent of due process protection may vary depending on the alien status and circumstance. In various opinions, the court has suggested that at least some of the constitutional protections to which an alien is entitled may turn upon whether the alien has been admitted into the United States or developed substantial ties to this country. Thus, while the court has recognized that due process considerations may constrain the federal government's exercise of its immigration power, there is some uncertainty regarding the extent to which these constraints apply with regard to aliens within the United States. Take it up with the courts. As of now, this is the Constitution. As of now, they are considered persons. As of now, they have those rights. If they are part of the jurisdiction thereof, they also have the protections thereof. So glad we went over that for the zillionth fucking time. I know you hate brown people. I know you're fucking mediocre. I know you can't get it up. But maybe try harder. I'm not with the shits today. But let me get big W's to Danielle. Danielle, you're always coming in strong for me. Thank you for the 1462, so that we can get that down to an 80 with 0 change.
Woo!
I appreciate you,
Danielle!
Danielle, for getting that even after. You guys can't fuck with me with math, because I was not good at the maths. And I will sit here and I will count with my fingers and my toes. But I damn sure know the Constitution.
Link in bio.
For
So
toes?
yes.
Okay.
So I'm currently, I'll show you what I'm working on right now. I think it's going to be so cute. And if men come up, men are just going to have to suck it up. But the men we surround ourselves with aren't intimidated by femininity.
Hold on, let me, real quick. JH. The first paragraph was about legal. Yes, you're right. Eventually, the Supreme Court extended those constitutional protections to all aliens with the United States, including those who entered unlawfully. Anyway, keep crying, bitch. I'm sorry you can't read. Start with Goodnight Moon. That's a great place to start.
Okay, let me show you. Give me a second.
Then we're going to move on to this, which I'll probably get, I'll have to remove it off of my YouTube later, but I will get this. We're going to move on to the South African white genocide that Trump lied about.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
This is what I have so far.
Hold on, let me.
I need you to squeeze.
Ooh.
I think it looks pretty.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun tonight.
Tonight.
Guys, remember.
Oh, and I have also
Bingo cards.
the bingo card is in. I'm not showing my toes, Chicky. That's crazy.
Those are not toes, Chicky said.
You want my toes? Link in bio.
Oh, I didn't know that once you commit a crime, you lose your constitutionality. That's interesting to due process.
So Trump doesn't have constitutional. I mean,
I guess.
hey, you know what? That's fine. Trump shouldn't be the president then if he doesn't follow the put toes on bingo. No, Kayla.
Thank you, Jesse Sinclair, for the $5 super chat. Said, instead of paying taxes to this administration and the billionaires, I'll gladly pay you. You're a true patriot. MAGA protects only chomos. That's true. Thank you so much.
W.
Appreciate you. You guys cry harder about it. You don't lose your constitutional rights just because you committed a crime. Because how do we prove that you committed that crime?
Kayla, Chicky, I tried.
With due process. I'm so glad. We're learning. I'm so proud of you guys. All right.
Sorry,
so-
we're still talking about toes for some reason.
Y'all do. If I see, no, do I even want to say it? I don't want to say it.
Can you message it and I'll say it? No, I'm kidding.
If I see toes in my live chat.
Oh, I will. No.
I will mute y'all.
And you will be booted.
For a little while. Okay. Donald Trump lied about the white South African genocide. We are shocked about that. We are not. This is Anderson Cooper's final 60 Minutes, by the way. Anderson Cooper is leaving CBS. Doesn't mean he'll be gone. I think just like Colbert. So why is the president still touting these lies? Probably because it's just beneficial to him. He's also a fucking white supremacist. Now let's talk about Donald Trump. It'll show you the clip of it too, where he talks about this burial site of all these farmers from this genocide that's happening in South Africa, supposedly, right? Okay. The debunking of that, but also nobody at the time, honestly, even when we talked about it, even when we knew it was false, when we talked about it beforehand, nobody questioned why if it were true that these were burial sites, why were they burying them along the side of a road? Nobody questioned that? Burial sites on the side of a road? Oh. Okay.
And in Vita Rafferty's funeral. President
Listen to Donald Trump. Listen, because he played this in the old Texas everything. Add context to him saying burial sites. AJ, where did you send me a message? Because if it's not on Discord, I can't bring it up. Like if it's TikTok, I can't bring it up right now. Where's the context to him lying about the burial sites? Okay. I have stuff on tariffs and the economy, but we're going to move to this first. We're going to move to Kash Patel, unfortunately. All right. Let's talk about Kash Patel. He's, before he took office, before he took into his role, right? He was very, very talking about being very responsible. I'm so proud of him for talking about not wasting our funding. within the FBI. So we're going to listen to him talk about not wasting funding, because he's not going to waste funding. And Kash Patel, Kash Patel for not wasting our funding. So he's going to talk about Christopher Wray here.
And I'm not saying take all their funding. I'm not the defund everything guy. I'm just saying Chris Wray doesn't need a government-funded G5 jet to go to vacation. Maybe we ground that plane. $15,000 every time it takes off.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Maybe don't use the jet for vacation. He says $15,000 every time it takes off. That makes sense. I could agree with that. What else did he talk about? Oh, he talked about it. Oh, he talks about Christopher Wray and James Comey.
We're not the guys running around on private jets. And somebody, maybe in Congress, should ask for how many flights on a private jet Director Comey took, or my predecessor Director Wray took, and how many personal trips they took. We're not.
I agree. I absolutely agree. We should ask about how many trips they took, because that's absolutely fucking ridiculous. There's no fucking reason for you to use it for your own personal benefit that has nothing to do with the FBI, right? Oh.
Let's go!
Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, shoot. Ooh, I didn't mean to show that. Oh, my God. Wait. Kash Patel would never go on a vacation that has nothing to do with the FBI, would he?
The Statue of Liberty started.
Oh, no!
Like, I sent you what AJ was trying to send you.
Okay.
By the way, fuck boys hockey. Fuck men's hockey specifically. Just want to put that out there.
We're gonna get there. But right now, Kash Patel, right? He said he wasn't gonna waste it. You know what's even more interesting? He actually said what he was going to use it for, which, by the way, he lied to us about going to Milan. Why would the FBI director be in Milan? Meanwhile, somebody went to Mar-a-Lago with a fucking gun and was shot dead. But, you know, Kash Patel's doing more important things like drinking with the U.S. men's hockey team. But this is what he said he was going to use the resources for. By the way, not $15,000 to take off. That trip is estimated at $75,000 taxpayer dollars that we paid to send Kash Patel to go drink with the U.S. men's hockey team.
And the resources of the FBI, which are funded by the American taxpayer dollars. In the 7 minutes that you and I have been talking about, 2 people have died from fentanyl overdoses. 1 person has been shot to death in this country, and 3 people have been raped. The resources of the FBI will go to that mission set and that mission set alone, because America deserves a better brand of justice, and I'm going to give it to them.
Fantastic.
Is he stopping fentanyl deaths by drinking in Milan? Is that what he's doing, MAGA? Guys, by the way, in the TikTok chat, 106 of you in here. We should be well on our way to 75,000 likes at 11:30. I would like to get to 100,000 by the time we end. I would appreciate it if you guys would do that for me. I appreciate you. Go away. My button. Go away. You off. Nope. You're on. You off. Okay. So there's that. And now we're going to get to the misogyny within it all that everybody has seen. Donald Trump, who has no fucking business calling them at all, calls them, though. And we're going to get to the specific part, inviting them to the State of the Union, which, by the way, Mike Johnson came out this morning and was like, I guess we'll find room for them. I'm sure there'll be plenty of room on the Democratic side because they're not showing up. But, you know, whatever. But he says that the women's hockey team, who also won gold, by the way, won gold before these fuckers did. We got to invite them. But he says we have to, right? Here we go.
And we'll do the White House the next day. We'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that. I do believe I probably would be impeached, okay?
If he didn't invite them, they'd be impeached. And everybody...
There's other bigger reasons why you're going to be impeached, Dawn. Like,
it's so funny. Well,
it's funny to laugh about women in their sports. Someone remind me, how many times have the women won the
hold on.
gold medal?
I'm gonna get there.
Okay, I stop.
The U.S. women's hockey team has declined Trump's invitation to the State of the Union. They are claiming that it is scheduling issues. They have, what did they say specifically? Let me say. We're sincerely grateful for the invitation extended to our gold medal winning U.S. Women's hockey team and deeply appreciative of the recognition of their extraordinary achievement. Due to timing and previously scheduled academic and professional commitments following the games, the athletes are unable to participate. And actually, that could probably be true. They might be declining because of that. But women did it in less time. W Tech Whiz. But that might be true because of the fact that like they're busy. They're Olympians. They are busy. They go right into the next things that they do. Some of them, yes, are still in school because a lot of them are very young. So we're gonna do this. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the amount of medals. All right. As the 2026 Winter Olympics have come to a close for the third consecutive Winter Games, U.S. women have won more gold medals and more medals overall than U.S. men. The final tally here in Milan, American women won 6 gold medals and 17 medals overall. The U.S. men, 4 golds and 12 overall. 2 other gold medals and 4 overall. The U.S. ended up with a historic 12 golds and 33 overall. We're in mixed gender events, right? Those exist. W, Alyssa Liu, we love you. We love you, Alyssa Liu. This mirrors what is happening in the much larger Summer Olympics, in which U.S. women have won more golds and more medals than U.S. men for the past 4 consecutive Summer Games, going back to the 2012 London Olympics. In Paris a year and a half ago, U.S. women won 65% of the 40 gold medals won by Americans, 26-13, with 1 won in a mixed gender event, and they won 68 medals overall, 252 for the men, with 6 in mixed events. It doesn't mean women are better. Sounds like we're better at winning medals. That's what the fuck it sounds like. Sounds like we're better at winning medals. I know you guys are going to cry harder, but yeah. And this is the men's hockey's explainer, which doesn't do anything for me, specifically for the term that they use to describe the women on this team.
Quinn, Jack mentioned the celebration you had with the women's hockey team. They've said they're not going to be able to go to the State of the Union tonight. Will you guys be going?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say, but yes, and yeah, we're excited to go. I mean, it's something you don't get to do. I don't know what today is every Tuesday, but yeah, but it's gonna be special for us. But I'm glad you mentioned the women's team again. We're extremely happy for them. Obviously, a lot going on social media right now surrounding our team and their team. But in the last couple of summers, we did a lot of training with them and got to know a lot of those girls really well. Extremely happy to come.
He knows a lot of those girls. Men, stop doing that. They're women. They're adults. And they won their gold medal faster than the men did. Maybe be smarter. I don't fucking know. Guys, we're at 61,000. Let's keep booping that screen. I appreciate you guys. I have the little hat and mustache. I know those coins are a little bit more. But if we could help light up that gift gallery, I would be super, super appreciative of it. I have 80 left on my goal with 20 minutes left today. And I still have outline to do. We're not going to get through my entire outline today. That's just not going to happen. But we will move on to some things. Let's do some funny har. Let's make fun of more men who think they're smart and aren't. If I was Nick Shirley, I would have just stopped while you were behind in Minnesota. Maybe is what you should have done. But let's get into that.
Here in California at this UPS store in San Diego, over 30 people are registered to vote as this is their primary residence. It's all right to have this as a location where you receive a ballot, but you can't have it as your primary residence. And all these people do right here. For instance, this lady right here, Gloria, she's 100 years old and she voted in the 2024 election. In fact, the large majority of these people voted in the 2024 election, and some of these people even have the exact same P.O. boxes. I don't think too many people can live inside of a P.O. box. And what's
the fact that he thinks any people can live inside of a P.O. box, just not a lot of them, is in insane itself. And now we're going to listen to it. He's going to grift. See what he's wearing on his t-shirt, guys? It's the most open motherfucking ad you've ever seen. Here you go.
Concerning about this is right now on Polymarket, Gavin Newsom is also setting the stage to become the next Democrat nominee for the 2028 election. Meanwhile,
good job, Nick Shirley. Cog in the machine, Nick Shirley. Wear that Polymarket shirt, Nick Shirley.
There's massive voter fraud taking place. You actually don't even need an ID to vote here inside of California. And like I said, over 30 people are registered to vote inside of this UPS store alone.
Thank you. My dream is not for sale. You're absolutely correct. It's not a fucking just a UPS store. Guess what's on top of that UPS store? A 34-unit apartment complex. Where do you get your mail when you live in an apartment complex? Is the address the same? Well, theirs is going to be UPS. So usually there's a mail center, right? Theirs just happens to be a UPS for that building. Is that address the same?
Nope.
It is. Yeah, it is. The only thing that changes is your unit number.
Sorry.
Unless you're using a P.O. box. Nick Shirley's an idiot.
Multitasking, sorry.
No, you're fine. It's really more for like YouTube and them to answer anyway.
Wrong answers only. Go.
OX Marcus, what am I denying? Again, the call-in line is open. Tell me what I'm denying with factual evidence. He is saying that people are illegally voting by having the same address as the UPS store. It's a fucking apartment complex. Where they get their mail. Right, yes, the unit number changes, TechWiz.
Is TechWiz defending me? What the fuck?
Yeah, he
TechWiz,
actually
did
is.
you... What?
Yeah,
TechWiz.
how did he get a voters list is actually a really good question.
Uh-huh.
You're not supposed to... That's not supposed to be able to get that.
Nope.
Okay, let's do Epstein.
I mean, I'm sure that's probably how some houselessness also vote, using UPS.
Show it on Google. I don't have the address. Because I'm not a weirdo. Here, let me... I know somebody had found it, though. Oh, here we go. Is that it? Let me make sure that that's the same one.
Here in California at this
It's in his video. The awning doesn't look the same, but it could be just how...
UPS store in San Diego,
Oh, yeah. No,
over
that's there.
30.
Okay. All right, just double checking. All right, so that was his video. Okay. Here's that UPS store. Here's the apartment complex at that UPS store. Kensington Commons. There it is. Apartment complexes. Cry harder. He's an idiot. So sorry that he's stupid. Okay. If we hadn't seen this, the UK is still doing the UK thing of actually trying to hold people accountable for misconduct in office and related to the e-files.
Two properties, a Wiltshire home and the London home, were police
This is Peter Mendelsohn.
arrived, they took devices away. So the investigation has been going on for days now, hasn't it?
Yeah, and I think probably worth renewing, actually remembering, sort of rewinding, if you like, a few weeks. These 3 million files, Epstein files being released in the US, the trawling through of what those files meant, that the stories coming out over and over, over the course of a few days, getting more and more, it would seem complicated in terms of Peter Mandelson's involvement with.
Again, in regards to Nick Shirley, YouTube, you can be mad about it all you want to, that you listen to this damn 20-year-old is a fucking idiot. He said he's so stupid that he destroyed Tim Walz. Tim Walz stepped down. All that Nick Shirley did was ensure that Klobuchar gets elected. Congratulations.
Jeffrey Epstein. That led to police involvement, police investigating, as you say, those two properties in Camden and in Wiltshire. And then, as you say, possessions being taken away, presumably analysed, documents being looked at. And then today we see this arrest.
There's two properties, a Wiltshire home.
So that's Peter Mendelsohn. I'm glad that the UK is actually doing their job. This is a picture of Peter Mendelsohn with Jeffrey Epstein. You will find, I don't have them on here, but you will find pictures of him with Bill Clinton, very young. You will find pictures of him with Donald Trump. Most of those are actually older, like now, right? Because he's trying to do whatever he can do to get his business as many favors as fucking possible through the Trump administration. But at least the UK is doing something about it. I'm so glad to see that the UK is actually doing something about it. Because we're not. But that's also interesting, come to find out. Justice Department withheld and removed some Epstein files related to Trump. Shocker. We're shocked that it's a cover-up. The Justice Department has withheld some Epstein files related to allegations that President Trump sexually abused a minor, an NPR investigation finds. It also removed some documents from the public database where accusations against Jeffrey Epstein also mention Trump. Some files have not been made public despite a law mandating their release. These include what appears to be more than 50 pages of FBI interviews and notes from conversations with a woman who accused Trump of sexual abuse decades ago when she was a minor. NPR reviewed multiple sets of unique serial numbers appearing before and after the pages in question, stamped onto documents in the Epstein Files database, FBI case records, emails, and discovery document logs in the latest tranche of documents published at the end of January. NPR's investigation found dozens of pages that appear to be cataloged by the Justice Department but not shared publicly. The Justice Department declined to answer NPR's questions on the record about these specific files, what's in them, and why they are not published. After publication, the Justice Department reached out to NPR, taking issue with how its responses to questions were framed. Justice Department spokeswoman Natalie Baldassare reiterated DOG's stance that any documents not published are because they are privileged, duplicates, or relate to an ongoing federal investigation. Other files scrubbed from public view pertain to a separate woman who was a key witness for the prosecution in the criminal trial of Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, who is serving a 20-year prison sentence for sex trafficking. Maxwell is seeking clemency from Trump. Some of those documents were briefly taken down and put back online last week, while others remain hidden, according to NPR's comparison of the initial dataset from January 30th with document metadata of those files currently on the Justice Department website. NPR does not name victims of sexual abuse. When asked for comment about the missing pages and the accusations against the president, a White House spokeswoman told NPR that Trump, quote, has done more for Epstein's victims than anyone before him, except for any kind of actual accountability and documentation. MS Now probably explains it a little bit better, so I'm going to let them go ahead and do that, guys. Make sure we are still tapping that screen. I see you guys at 72,000 likes. Again, we have 10 minutes left. If we can try and get that to 100,000, work those fingers, I would appreciate you so much. 80 left in my goal. Let's try to get those things done today, yeah?
Lisa, you got this reporting. Walk us through it. Well, Anna, one of the things I can tell you is that based on documents that are available in the Epstein files, and we're just going to hold up to you what allowed us to get to this reporting. This is an index of witness statements from people who were not expected to testify at Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, but whose statements were nonetheless produced to her defense counsel in the run-up to her 2021 trial. We also have a smaller one with respect to those who were expected to testify. And based on those indices, as well as documents available in the file, MS Now can report that there is at least one witness for whom 3 interviews with the FBI in rapid succession in 2019 are missing. You might say, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, the big deal about that is that we can also confirm that that woman is the same person who in a 2025 FBI presentation is identified to have accused Donald Trump of a sexual assault when she was between 13 and 15 years old. We know that based on a human source who has confirmed to us that this woman is one and the same. So I want to make this very clear. There is a woman who, according to the FBI and documents compiled last summer, accused Donald Trump of sexually assaulting and physically abusing her. One of the things in her accusation is that in addition to forcing her to perform oral sex, he also hit her in that same episode. We have now connected that woman to someone who was interviewed by the FBI 4 times in 2019. Of those 4 interview memoranda, which are listed in this index that I'm holding up right here, only one of them can be seen. And in that interview, the accusations against Trump are not present. At the most, she says that she had met Trump on one occasion without detailing it. And when asked how she understood that Epstein was a person who committed abuse against her, she showed FBI agents a picture that she had been sent by a friend. It was a picture that she was reluctant to share with FBI agents because there was somebody else in the photograph. It turned out to be, according to this interview memo, a well-known photograph of Epstein and Trump together. She said that she was reluctant to show them the full image, lest she incriminate someone that she feared could retaliate against her. That's all that we know from what's publicly available in the files. But we know that this woman had other accusations against Trump. Where they are listed or where they've been memorialized, we're not sure. But we can tell you and our viewers that there are 3 other interview memoranda taken by the FBI that are not present anywhere in the Epstein files. And this is a problem that we expect may have recurred with dozens of other witnesses whose files may not have been produced in their totality.
And they need to be. I'm going to stop it there. They need to be. That's the whole point. The whole point is that they need to be. This needs to be investigated. I don't know why we can't be on the same side with this. I don't care what the fuck their letter is next to their name. I don't care if it says Democrat. Go get Bill Gates. Go get Bill Clinton. Go fucking get them. I don't give a shit. But don't sit here and pretend like Donald Trump is not also involved and that Donald Trump's not in the chair. He said he was exonerated. Where? Thank you so much for the jewels. I appreciate you. Oh, now you trust the government. Somebody said if the FBI didn't move forward, maybe there's no information there. So now you believe them. Okay. You guys are a bunch of fucking cultist clowns, but it's fine. I just got this from Rob. I'm going to add it in here real quick.
Well, also, it's the entire party that has no morality, so it's okay. Pro-life, my fucking ass.
This was Thomas Massey on the floor.
Oh, Lord.
About an hour ago.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Kentucky, Mr. Massey, for 5 minutes.
I'm going to go some history real quick in case you guys don't fucking know, because you guys don't read or pay attention to anything and only listen and guzzle what Donald Trump gives you to guzzle. Thomas Massey was the person who, along with Ro Khanna, who came up with the Epstein's Transparency Act, okay? They were the motherfucking people who wanted to get this shit out, to release these fucking files, even though Donald Trump said he would. He decided he was not gonna. And Mike Johnson wouldn't bring the vote on that bill up to the floor. So what they did is they did what's called a discharge petition. You need 200, it's a tiny W. He still sucks socially, but you need 218 signatures in Congress to be able to go around Mike Johnson and bring this bill up for a vote. They had 217. They needed the 218. The 218 was going to be Adelita Grijalva, who was elected in Arizona as the congresswoman. They went on break. Mike Johnson put Congress on break a week before the government shutdown to ensure that he could not swear her in after the government shutdown, which is, longer than a month long. Finally swore in Adelita Grijalva, but not before Donald Trump held a meeting in one of his rooms in the White House where he brought forth Nancy Mace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren Boebert all together, the three women in the Republican Party who signed on to that discharge petition as well, and said, do not sign this discharge petition. The White House administration came out and said, if you sign this discharge petition, the administration will see it as a hostile act. Yet they still did it. 218 signatures. That was brought onto the floor for a vote. It was voted in almost unanimously. There was one motherfucker who decided he was not going to vote for it. He voted no. Other than that, it was voted through, went to the Senate, and it was passed with unanimous consent. It then went to the president's desk, who, again, did sign it. Didn't have a big event for it. He just signed it in the dark, whatever. But even if he didn't sign it, there's a certain amount of legislative days it would have become law anyway. They had to release the files. There was a specific date and time that they needed to do so. They did not. They released some, but not all. So they already violated the act. They are still violating this act, and they have still not prosecuted or indicted anyone. No one. So here's Thomas Massey.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Congress created the Department of Justice. Congress funds the Department of Justice, and Congress is responsible for the oversight of the Department of Justice. When will we see justice? I'll tell you what I've not seen. I've not seen any arrests from the revelations in the Epstein files, over 3 million documents describing horrible things, describing unspeakable things, so much of it redacted. Over 24 people have resigned, CEOs, members of government worldwide. But I haven't seen any arrests or investigations here in the United States from this Department of Justice. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, who has since been stripped of his royal titles due to his affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein, has been arrested. Peter Mandelson, who previously served as UK's ambassador to the United States, resigned in disgrace from United Kingdom's House of Lords and the Labour Party, and he's been arrested. Former Prime Minister of Norway, Torbjørn Jagland, has been charged. But we don't see any charges, arrests, or investigations in the United States. What do we see? We see our FBI director celebrating in the locker room at the Olympics overseas. It's fine to be proud of this country, but we should be proud of this country because we have a system of justice that works, and yet we do not. Who are the men that should be investigated? I'll name them right here. Leon Black. You don't even have to see past the redactions to see that this man needs to be investigated. Jess Staley, accused of terrible things. It's right there in the files. Why is he not being investigated? And Leslie Wexner. Why did the FBI list him as a co-conspirator in their own documents in a child sex trafficking case, and then tell him, according to him, that they had no questions for him? Why is that? Well, the Epstein Files Transparency Act requires the DOJ and the FBI to disclose to us their internal memos and emails about how they made those decisions, whether to prosecute or not prosecute. Yet they have not delivered those memos. And we still don't have the memos and documents and emails from 2008 to explain why Jeffrey Epstein was given such a light sentence in what would have been an open and shut case of child sex trafficking, which allowed him to go back and recommit these terrible crimes, create hundreds of more victims, and ensnare so many other people in his conspiracy. Where are those documents that describe those decisions? We need justice. We want the Department of Justice to get to work, and that's what they need to do now.
So somebody in the YouTube chat said they're in the files. What does that mean? Again, it depends on the file. It depends on the specific email, right? I've said this before. Obama's in the files. Why? Because Jeffrey Epstein got a lot of magazines and news articles emailed to him where Obama was listed because Obama was the president at the time. It depends on what they are. The names that he gave you are Leon Black, okay, who he had dealings with. Les Wexner, who funded the entirety of Jeffrey Epstein's fucking shit. Like, that's the money. That was the bank. Les Wexner was the bank. Now, I personally, again, this is personal fee-fees, I don't know how much Les Wexner knew other than that Jeffrey Epstein liked minors. But I don't know if he knew about trafficking because you wouldn't want your money to be implicated. You want your bank account safe.
I have different opinions, but
I just think it would be stupid for you to let your bank
I don't
know.
think he's that smart.
Well, that's the thing. He was able to get
Wexner-
power of attorney over him, so he's not smart.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why
Like-
you wouldn't tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'd release it. He'd be really bad for that.
And honestly, I suggest, and I think this would be a fun like watch party to do sometime. I think everyone should watch Victoria's Secret Angels and Demons. That's something that Manny and I have been rewatching. And your gabbers will be flabbergasted.
Or they'll stay in place.
Yeah, that
you
part
know.
too.
If you know how these people work. But again,
yeah,
there's plenty in there. If you've gone through any of this, there is plenty in there that needs to be investigated. And yet, it's not being investigated. That's the problem. That's my whole problem. And I've said this before, and I will fucking say it again. If you want to admonish previous administrations all the way up to Bush Jr., or, sorry, not Bush Jr., Clinton, please do so. Them as presidents, again, I will say though, the DOJ has relatively been a separate entity besides the appointments of the AG, has been a separate entity to the president. However, they're still the president. If they knew, they didn't do anything. And Congress, the Congresses, respectively under all of those administrations, did not shit. You want to investigate them, censure them, get rid of them, throw them in jail, please feel free to do so. But just stand on the same ground with me and ask for it on all sides. I want all of them investigated. I want to see indictments. I said, Marcus, it depends on the files. It depends on which email you're talking about. It depends on which document you're talking about. Read through them, have you? Have you read through any of them? It's a lot. I'm not expecting you to read through all of them.
Even then, right, Marcus, if you want him to go to fucking put Obama on trial. Subpoena
He didn't even mention Obama. I'm just saying. That's the understanding of what in the files means, right? Like the files is a library that the DOJ gave us, which they didn't even give us everything. You went through all 3 million? Okay, you don't think that there was anything in there worth investigating, Marcus? Geronimus, do you have something about Ludnick? I'm waiting for it in the comments if not. Guys, 97,000 likes with 99 of you in here. We can get to 100,000 before I end today. It would be wonderful if we could. I appreciate you. What about Trump in the files are you concerned with? I'm concerned with police reports, police tips, right? About him possibly having harmed minors, about him being in rooms or having knowledge about minors being harmed. That's all. I just want that investigated. But the problem is he's saying he's exonerated, and that's not true. And it's not just about Trump.
The anonymous said apparently he had more business dealings than he alleged.
Yeah. We talked about that on, was that last week or the week before we did Howard Lutnick's
I think it was Friday.
connections and his lies.
I think it was either Thursday or Friday.
Yep, Geronimus, I have a whole live about that. We talked about it. Yeah, sworn affidavits against Donald Trump. Affidavits against Bill Gates. Affidavits against Bill Clinton. You guys did it. 100,000 likes. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, tappers. Tappers. You guys. Give those fingies a rest. Yeah, just investigate it. The problem is that they are like, we need to move on. That's their quote. Oh, see, now Marcus obfuscates. Instead of addressing the fact that I said sworn affidavits of harm against Donald Trump accused in these files, he said Donald Trump did more in 1 year than the last 3 presidents combined. I'm so glad you're in a fucking cult and you can't address the fact that he also needs to be fucking investigated. You can't hold it to the same standard as you do anybody else because you're in a fucking cult. So glad that we got that. Cowards. Fucking cowards. That's all you are.
If anything, this just shows more that the Republican Party does not protect women, nor they don't want to protect young children either. The Republican Party will never stand for wanting life within the world. They don't want to protect our kids. They never will. Regardless, this is all this shows you guys. The harm, it's causing harm to you guys where people will continue to dislike you.
Cool. You can go in timeout, Marcus, because you are a disingenuous prick if you can't answer those questions. All right. Okay. We're done for the day. I had stuff. What did I have left? I had stuff on tariffs or whatever, but we are going to do one more thing before we get ready to go. This will probably,
he promised to make
either, but that's okay. But I just thought this was funny. If you guys don't know, I'm going to say the name wrong. Shmoyoho? I've heard of him before. I've listened to the songs before. But here we go. That's a good one. My God.
But the Dow.
Which it's not at, you shouldn't have given a specific number. It's not at 50,000 anymore. So sorry about that. Love to see what tomorrow's gonna, I wish the stock market stayed open while he was speaking.
Right, we could just see it tank. By the way, speaking of that, tonight at, it's what, 9 Eastern, right?
Yeah.
So at 8 Central, I'll probably start close to 7:45-ish just to be on the safe. Me, Monica, Ari, and a few other wonderful women, and if, no one else comes up, then, the usuals, Blue and Manny and maybe Hector, if Hector's not doing anything. We will be watching the State of the Union. If you are in Monica's Discord, there is a bingo card that we will be playing bingo. Just to see how long it takes for us to,
Get our shit together. Thank you, S.J. Gilmore, for the jewels. Appreciate you.
But yeah, you guys are welcome to come and hang out and enjoy some company while we all just shit talk the State of the Union. Tanner, why do you want to be canceled? Tanner Big Guy Pants? I'm confused.
What?
That's his username now.
Him and his usernames changing. I can't.
Did someone just mute Tanner?
Audie.
Yep.
My God. On that note, I think we're gonna go raid Dougie.
We gonna go hang out with the dog?
We're gonna hang out with the dog. So thank you, Chicky. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate you guys and your support today. But I also hate you for doing decimal points. Y'all be doing this to me. Why do you do this to me?
Yes, Dan. I am streaming at night tonight. That's because of the State of the Union.
Yep. So we will be in Olives watching that. I will be there tonight on her panel. We will be watching that. Not the whole live, babe.
Did your husband mute Tanner for the whole live?
The entire live. I guess the entire live is only 30 more seconds. So there's that. So we are going to go, my God, raid Dougie. That is Dougie Lifts. If you don't know, our pure bed good boy Dougie. We're going to go in there and you can watch the aftermarket trading. That is true, TechWiz. We will check on that and see what it looks like. It tanked the other day when he was talking. So I doubt it's going to do any better. But thank you guys so much.
I should have
appreciate
added
your
the stock
support.
market to the bingo. God damn it.
Stock market. Me and Olive will see you guys hopefully tonight. But I appreciate you guys being here. You will see me again
I'm the
tomorrow.
mod you married? Did you wait, off topic. Someone in the comments did say she's married to one of her mods, and I said which one?
I have a lot of mods. I have a harem.
That's true.
Okay.
Never mind, I can't say that.
So I will see you guys tonight on Olives. Make sure you're following Olive. Make sure you have notifications turned on for when she goes live so that you guys will see her there, see me there. I will be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, whatever time that is for you, as always. I appreciate your guys' support, and we will see you later.
Bye-bye.
Go raid Dougie.